आए वो दिन के हम जिनकी चाहत में गिनते थे दिन अपनी तस्कीन जहाँ के लिए, फिर वो चेहरे हवेदा हुए जिनकी यादें कयामत थी कल्बे तपा के लिए.
I would say if you're thinking about it, it's something that you should really look deep down inside your heart and think if I'm the right person and if God gives me the signs that makes it possible for me to actually become a waqf zindagi or go to Jamia, then it's actually a blessing on my family, a blessing on everyone around me, and you have to be grateful. And through gratitude, you can actually there's space for everybody. It doesn't matter if you think you're good at something or you're not good at something. Don't judge yourself. Let God judge you. Let God steer you in the right direction. With the guidance of Rasul, you can understand exactly where you fit as a Ahmadi, as a Waqf Zindagi, as a missionary. All these things you have to leave it up to somebody else. And I believe that if you actually leave it up to God and leave it up to Hazur, you'll be guided towards something even greater than you think. So don't get in your own way. Let go, let the pressure go, and relax. And if you think that this is something right, then right for you, then write to Hazur, have a mulaqat with Hazur, speak to him about it, and then ask Hazur, okay, what ways can I develop this idea? What ways can I develop myself so that I do become the right person for this? And I feel like it's more of an emotion than it is just your skills or your status or your contacts. It's not about that. It's about your emotion and how much drive you have.
Knowing what I know now, would I change anything about the decisions I've made in my life? And the answer is a categorical no. And I think this will be the case of all the waqfeen that you ask. Because the thing is, once you have tasted this beautiful blessing of being waqf, once you've been witness to the beautiful rewards that you have having given your life and devoted your life to God, both in the spiritual but also in the physical sense as well, then no one would ever turn back away from this. And it's something which is truly inspirational to see. And we see people spend their entire lives devoted to the cause of Islam, Ahmadiyyat, and to the cause of working in the way of Allah. And that's because truly every day you are witness to the blessings of Allah the Almighty, which you can attain by this devotion of your life. And let me also make one thing clear. The devotion of one's life does not necessarily mean that you are living a life of abstract poverty and you're destitute and you're worried on a day-to-day basis. Not at all. In fact, those who relinquish all of their desires and wants for the sake of Allah the Almighty takes their matters into His own hands, and He is the safeguard and protector of our lives and all the things within it. And so you attain this sense of contentment and peace and relaxation that you can never attain anywhere else.
You are going to sacrifice your desires, your wishes, your life for the community, and that's what you need to remember. And that's why you need to be guiding your morals. You need to attain the right education. You need to follow the words of His Holiness, and you need to do exactly what the community would like you to do, and in order to then gain the privilege and the blessings of being a waqf. So don't think that this is just a worldly thing, that you will come in here and be a waqf, and then everything, you'll be just fine. Whatever you do before you serve as a waqf is not important. Everything you do is important. So being a waqf is not for everyone. It's not everyday thing. It's not a worldly matter. It's an ultimate sacrifice you're going to make, and you have to make in order to continue and be a waqf.
I just hope that in the future I can actually, stay disciplined and healthy enough to serve the Jamaat in any way possible, and to build that, because the work is never ending. The work is so huge that I'm just a drop in the ocean of what service to mankind actually is. And the waqf zindagis that have gone before me and the ones that are going to come after, I'm just a drop in the ocean in that. So I just hope that whatever I do can help push the needle forward, and actually, help somebody, help, a few people. And sometimes when I think about it, I feel like sometimes you can be overwhelmed that, oh, I've got such a big project to do. How do I do the whole project, or how do I, get the message of the Prophet ﷺ to so many people? And you feel like sometimes you get stressed that, okay, how do I do that? How do I achieve that? But in those moments, I think to myself, okay, if I can only get the message across to one person, for example, in a video or in an article or in a podcast or anything, if I can get the message across to one person and change one person's life, that is worthwhile to me. That is, I feel, is a big thing.
In terms of advice that I would give to those people who are thinking to either go to JAMIA as to study to become Murabbiyan, or to do waqf in general in other fields, one of the most key and important things to remember is that you're not doing this for yourself, you're not doing this for anyone else, you're not even doing it in fact for Huzur. You're doing it for Allah the Almighty. And in that way, if you forever keep in mind that all the actions you are doing, be they seen or not seen, rewarded or unrewarded in this world, they are being seen and recorded by Allah the Almighty, that will keep you on that right path. And then on top of this, try to make yourself such that you are deserving of the affection of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. Doing waqf by name is one thing, but then doing justice by that waqf is something entirely different. To do justice by the work that you are given, to do justice by the responsibilities that you are bestowed, and also to make yourself such that spiritually speaking, you are living up to the name of being an Ahmadi Muslim. So much so that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih will himself look upon you with love and affection. And when that is the case, then you can ultimately say that yes, your waqf is such that has attained you the pleasure of Allah the Almighty. So that's something very, very key and important to remember. And remember that there will be times when you are trialed by certain things in life. But to remember at that time that those trials and tribulations are simply a way of character building by Allah the Almighty. Those trials and tribulations will be the same as will be the cause to make you a better and more complete person. After all, when we look at the examples of the prophets, indeed the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said that he was the person who was given the most trials, who was burdened with the most trials. So we should see these trials as a means of advancing and betterment. So indeed, for everyone who is thinking to become a waqf, to devote their life, be ready for the sacrifices that you will have to make. But then of course also you should be waiting for the immense blessings and the rewards.
So the main piece of advice for anyone that wants to join Jamia, wants to come into this field, is of course to pray. Pray to Allah the Almighty for guidance, for assistance, to make this decision, because this decision is a big decision of your life, because you're sacrificing a lot. You are dedicating your entire life for the cause of the Jamaat. So one thing is prayer, the other is writing letters to Hazur, because Hazur obviously gives divine guidance. He gives such guidance which helps you in your life, and it is very beneficial, and that is the best way to go about making any decision in your life, by praying to Allah the Almighty and also writing to Hazur and seeking guidance from Khilafat. But apart from that, advice that I would give for anyone wanting to join Jamia is to be ready for sacrifice, is to be ready to be obedient to any command which comes your way by Khilafat, because sacrificing everything is not a simple thing to do. Being obedient, solely obedient, and 100%, giving 100% in everything is not an easy thing to do. So you should be ready for making the sacrifice, and that is the main piece of advice that I would give.
One last point that I also like to mention is at one point in Mulaqat I mentioned to Hazur this, and I said that Hazur, I am the only son of my family, and I have come here, my family is living at home by themselves, and sometimes I worry that as an only son I was to financially look after my family and to physically look after my family. And Hazur said something very beautiful which I think we should all remember. And Hazur said in Urdu कि तुम तो यहाँ आ गए हो मगर अपने घर पे खुदा ताला को छोड़ के आए हो. So that, in other words, that you have come here and devoted yourself to this cause of waqf, But as a result of you coming here, Allah the Almighty has taken your place at home, so that for He will look after all of the worries and the trials that your family and you are to experience. He will Himself safeguard them and look after them. I think that is something which is so powerful and something that every single waqf should keep in mind.